Others get reborn as tigers or snakes, but me, I came back as a lake. To be exact, I'm a puddle less than 2 meters wide, stuck right in the middle of a desert. As I watch my water constantly evaporate, I realize it won't be long before I completely dry up and die, but just as I'm about to lose it, a system panel suddenly pops up in my mind. It shows I have 2 level 1 skills: Nurturing Rain and Water Bind with 100 energy points remaining. By leveling up, I can eventually evolve into a spirit lake that can heal anything, an elemental lake that controls fire and lightning, and finally an all-powerful lake of faith. But just as I'm about to check things out, a red alert flashes from the system. Warning: 12 hours until host evaporates. Seeing that, I immediately start learning how this system works. This Nurturing Rain skill is basically just a way to make it rain. I can trigger rainfall within my reach, and the best part, the water is infused with spiritual energy. It helps living things away faster. Then there's Water Bind, which is exactly what it sounds like, using water to trap enemies. But using skills costs energy. 100 energy points is only enough for 2 skills. As for how to get more energy, I'll have to figure that out later. Clearly I'm running out of time. A lake dies when it runs out of water, so as long as I don't dry up, I should be fine. Without wasting a second, I activate Nurturing Rain. My energy drops to 50 points and I feel a faint breeze blow by. But there isn't a single cloud in the sky. Is this system a total scam? Suddenly, a few drops hit the surface and soon it's a steady drizzle. It gets heavier and heavier, and man, it feels incredible. It rains for a full hour. By the time it stops, my little puddle has tripled in size. Not just that, I'm covering about 7 or 8 square meters now. I can finally call myself a pond. I quickly check the system panel again. The red warning is gone. My heart, which hasn't stopped racing, got here, can finally take a breath. Suddenly I feel a vibration in the distance. In my mind's eye, I see a few wild buffalo charging straight toward me. It's been dry here for so long, and now that there's water, these buffalo are definitely coming for a drink. I start getting nervous. Buffalo live in herds. If these guys bring a whole group back, they'll drink me dry in no time. I wonder if Waterbind can handle them. I need to set an example and scare the rest off before they gulp down all the water I just worked so hard to save. The first buffalo tramples through the mud, lowering its massive mouth toward the water. Suddenly, a whip of water shoots out and wraps tightly around its neck. It drags the beast right into the water. Caught off guard, the buffalo starts thrashing wildly, but the grip around its neck only gets tighter. Squeezing with more and more force, the more it struggles, the deeper it sinks into the mud. Finally, its entire head is pulled under. As its movements grow weak and eventually stop, the water returns to a calm state. The other buffalo that arrived late were terrified by the sudden scene. They ran off and are now watching from a distance, paralyzed with fear. Host has slain a low-level beast. 100 energy points gained. Congratulations, Host, on achieving your first kill. You've been rewarded with 100 energy points. Talk about a windfall. After subtracting the 50 points I spent on that Waterbind spell, I'm sitting on 200 energy points now, so it turns out slaughtering creatures is a direct path to gaining energy. As I watched the few buffalo in the distance still trembling with fear, I started to plot my next move in this endless, desolate desert. This is the only water source for miles. I don't believe for a second those buffalo can resist the burning thirst and the temptation of this water. To me, they're just walking energy points. As for the buffalo I dragged down and drowned, its corpse was slowly buried in the silt before vanishing into thin air in the most eerie way. The desert at night is even more terrifying. Low, guttural roars of predators echo from the distance, mixed with the terrified screams of animals being torn apart. It looks like this wasteland is hiding quite a lot of living things. The next morning, I pulled up the system panel again. I noticed another change. My energy had shot up to 500 points. Turns out those buffalo finally couldn't hold out any longer and came to drink together last night. In the end, I took them all out. It cost 50 points to kill a buffalo, but I gain 100 in return. That's a clean profit of 50 points per head. After confirming things multiple times, I discovered a hidden ability of the system. Any creature I kill and devour, I get to consume their memories too. Through the memories of those buffalo, I finally started to understand this world. This is definitely not my old world. It feels more like some ancient savage era. In the fragments of those buffalo's memories, I saw a lion with a mane of actual flames, winged stallions, and even humans who commanded terrifying power and cast actual magic. I felt a surge of pure excitement. In a world this magical, there's bound to be a way for me to get my old life back. I don't want to be a lake forever, but if I can lure that fire lion in and swallow it whole, I bet I'd get a massive amount of energy. That's when I had a bold idea. In the buffalo's memories, they were nothing but snacks for that lion. which means the fire lion has to be somewhere nearby. The desert heat remains as brutal as ever. I've been in this world for a week now. After surviving the initial threat of death, I've settled into a hunting routine that's both repetitive and fascinating. By using my spring rain skill once a day, I've noticed my own volume increasing. After 7 straight days of rainfall, I can finally be called a proper lake. Plus, because the rain from that skill is packed with rich spiritual energy, some of the dying water weeds and even tiny fish and shrimp have started to come back to life. Of course, just a nice little bonus. For me, the real win is the lure of this spiritual water. Everyday animals are drawn here to drink. Over the past few days, I've captured no less than 20 beasts, with buffalo being the most common. As for the smaller animals, I've chosen to let them be for now. Late one night, a pitch-black beast crept toward me without making a single sound. The moment its claws touched the mud, at the edge of my waters, I sensed it immediately. It was a hound, but clearly, it was nothing like the hounds from my previous world. This creature's body looked like an ordinary dog's, but something was very different. What was really creepy was that it had 2 freakish heads and 2 pairs of glowing red eyes, which stood out like crazy in the pitch-black night. Just as eye-catching were the bone spurs on its front paws, which looked razor-sharp and dangerous. The 2-headed hound scanned the area cautiously, and once it was sure there was no threat, it approached me and down to take a drink. There was no way I was letting this one go. If I could devour this 2-headed hound, the system would definitely reward me with a massive amount of energy. With a sudden swish, I triggered my water bind. Compared to your average beast, this hound's senses were way sharper. The very second the water ropes broke the surface, the hound lunged backward, but I'd already seen that coming. I knew a single water bind wouldn't be enough to catch this thing, so I unleashed 5 of them all at once. The hound managed to dodge the first rope, but the other 4 snapped tight, pinning its limbs down hard. The hound started thrashing in pure terror, but against the sheer weight of an entire lake, its body was dragged inch by inch toward the water. Just as it was about to be pulled under, those red eyes fired 2 beams of crimson light straight into the water. Boom! 2 huge pillars of water erupted from the lake after the 2-headed hound fired that last-ditch attack. It seemed to all its strength, and I dragged it into the depths without any effort at all. As for that attack, to me, it was nothing more than a couple of splashes. It didn't really do anything at all. Congratulations, host, you have completed the first Magic Beast kill mission. You killed a grade 1 common rank Magic Beast. Reward 1,000 energy points. Detected special substances within the host's body. Would you like to refine them? I was still riding the high of that 1,000 energy point reward when the system's voice snapped me back to reality. Special substances inside me. I thought about it for a second and decided to go ahead with the refining to see what it was. Refining complete, host has refined 2 grade 1 Hellhound essences, gaining 500 energy points. After taking some time to process everything, I finally figured it out. That 2-headed dog is called a Hellhound, and it's a grade 1 common rank magic beast. Those red beams it fired before it died were actually its own eyes, according to the info from the system. The creatures of this world, whether they're magic beasts or humans, are all ranked by power into 4 tiers: common, extraordinary, legendary, and saint. Each tier is split into 10 subgrades, which perfectly matches the leveling system I'm on. I'm not sure if there's anything higher than that yet. After doing some comparisons, I figured that the flame lion from the bison's memories should be a grade 3 common rank. Right now I'm only at grade 1, but since my physical body is literally a whole lake, most skills don't seem to affect me much. System, how do I level up? Host can reach level 2 by consuming 2,000 energy to be on the safe side. I decided I'd hit level 2 first before trying to take on that flame lion. Level up, I commanded after a sudden violent tremor. The lake was completely swallowed by a thick mist. 10 minutes later, the mist cleared. As the lake came back into view, its surface area had more than size. I could even see lush green underwater plants and fish and shrimp swimming around. Level up successful. Congratulations, host, you have learned a new skill. Grade 1 water arrow. This upgrade left me with only 500 energy points. But my size had expanded again, and I finally had a real offensive skill. Even the plants and fish living inside me benefited, growing way faster than before. As for the water arrow skill, it lets me fire pressurized water at enemies. Each shot costs 100 energy points, and I can fire up to 20 arrows at once. The bigger I get, the more arrows I can launch. But looking at the cost, I'm a bit worried. With my current energy, I can only pull off 5 attacks. Still, with this new skill, I'm confident I can take down that flame lion. I'm sure the system will hook me up with a massive reward too. From the buffalo's memories, I know that flame lion's favorite snack is them, but because of all the hunting lately, Hardly any buffalo have come for a drink. I need to find a way to crowd. Something big enough to bait that lion out. The next evening, I cast Spring Rain once more. Only a massive downpour like this could be tempting enough to bring those buffalo back to the water. Sure enough, as soon as night fell, a few buffalo cautiously approached. After sniffing around the shore and sensing no danger, they started gulping down the water. Given my current size, I didn't mind sharing a few drops to lure that flame lion. I had to keep my cool and stay perfectly still. By the third day, more and more animals began gathering around the lake. I even had a few water birds splashing around playfully. I just waited patiently. I had to make this place look completely safe. Once enough prey gathers here to drink, the flame lion will have no choice but to show up. Maybe it's because the water is packed with spiritual energy. But the animals here look more vibrant than usual. They're like juicy, delicious steaks. Just waiting for that lion to come take a bite. I waited for 2 whole days. Still no sign of the beast. Watching those buffalo chilling in my water without a care in the world, I almost wanted to eat them myself. Finally, on the 4th day, a lion with a mane made of flickering flames entered my senses. It's finally here. I was so hyped that ripples started forming on my surface. As it got closer, I started feeling a bit nervous. This is my first time hunting a rank 3 beast. And this flame lion looks like a real monster. Honestly, I'm not sure if I can actually do this. When the lion was about 500 meters away, the animals finally sensed the danger and scrambled to get away. Especially the buffalo playing in the water, they were panicking trying to reach the shore. I used my power to create an underwater current holding one of the buffalo back. With a sudden whoosh, the flame lion lunged and bit the buffalo right in the neck. Blood instantly stained the water red. The buffalo barely struggled before going limp. Just as the lion was about to drop the carcass, I triggered water binding, forming 3 ropes of water, and shot them straight at the beast. The flame lion flinched, but it was smart. It threw the dead buffalo at the ropes to block them. But these water ropes are controlled by my mind, and they're incredibly fast. They zipped right past the buffalo and kept heading for the lion. The lion opened its huge mouth and a massive fireball shot out instantly. One of the water ropes gets vaporized instantly, but the other 2 tightly coil around the flame lion. They've got it by the neck and one of its front paws. A brutal tug of war kicks off right then and there. This flame lion is definitely no joke, all on its own. It's actually holding its ground against my entire lake, plus the ring of fire around its neck is expanding. And it looks like the water ropes binding it are about to be wiped out. With 3 heavy splashes, 3 more water arrows burst out from the depths. One zooms straight for the lion's head with the other 2 following right behind. The flame lion lets out a massive roar, spitting a cloud of fire from its... The fire cloud isn't moving fast, but it's pooling right in front of the beast. The first water arrow slams into it and is vaporized in an instant. The second one pierces through. The fire cloud trembles, but it doesn't vanish. With a quick thought, I take control. At the absolute last second, the third arrow switches direction. It swerves around the fire cloud and dives straight down from above amidst the lion's agonizing screams. The water arrow vanishes, but now there's a massive hole in the lion's head, and blood is gushing out of it. The moment the flame lion is hit, that fire cloud completely disappears. However, the ring of flames around its neck is still burning bright. I use the water ropes to drag it down into the lake, and the surface slowly settles back into a calm. This hunt has drained every last drop of my energy. I'm pretty much running on empty. But luckily, I finally managed to devour this rank 3 spirit beast. Congratulations, host, on devouring a level 3 lion. You have gained 3,000 energy points. Abnormal energy detected. Begin refining. Refine it. I bet it's the core from that lion's neck. Refining rock fire. Increasing host's fire immunity. Since my true form is water, you could say fire is my only natural enemy. I never expected the system could refine flames to actually boost my immunity if I can reach a higher refining level in the future.